All right, today we are diving into a really interesting relationship concept called the hero instinct. It's this idea that claims to tap into a core biological drive in men and explains how that drive plays out in our modern relationships. Okay, let's get into it. So let's kick things off with a question you've probably asked yourself at some point. You're in a relationship, everything seems like it's going great, and then you just feel the shift. He starts pulling away or getting distant. Well, according to the sources we're looking at, the answer might be connected to a really deep-seated instinct. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at what our sources call a modern relationship puzzle. Then, we'll define exactly what this hero instinct is. After that, we'll break down 3 practical ways to trigger it. And finally, explore what this is all building towards, that feeling of being irreplaceable. Okay, so the core problem our sources identify really comes down to modern independence. Now, of course, being capable and self-sufficient is a huge strength, but authors like Laura Doyle suggest that it can, unintentionally get in the way of a man's innate desire to feel needed. So if that's the potential problem, what's the supposed solution? Well, this is where the main idea comes in, the hero instinct. Let's get a really clear definition of what our sources are talking about here. The term actually comes from James Bauer, who wrote about it in his book, His Secret Obsession. And the idea is that men have this primitive, almost biological drive. Now, this isn't about being a literal hero, saving someone from a burning building. It's about feeling essential, respected, and like a provider of support. The argument is, if this instinct isn't triggered, he might struggle to really commit emotionally. So, how do you actually trigger this instinct? Well, the first principle our sources talk about is all about actively creating opportunities. And to be clear, this isn't about pretending you're helpless. It's about intentionally making space for him to step up. And the examples they give are super practical. I mean, it could be as simple as asking for help with a stubborn jar lid, or as meaningful as asking for his advice on a big decision at work. The point, according to this theory, is to show that you genuinely value his strength and his input. And of course, the language you use is a huge part of this. Author Laura Doyle says that some phrases, like questioning his competence, can be like kryptonite to this instinct. But on the flip side, saying something that shows you have confidence in his abilities, that's supposed to create this really powerful positive shift. Okay, so creating an opportunity is just step 1. The next principle is what happens after he steps up, acknowledging his effort. And our sources say that signaling your appreciation is absolutely crucial. This little story from Laura Doyle's article just nails it. Her husband went out of his way to do this small, kind thing. Her first instinct was to say, "Oh, you don't have to do that." But instead, she just accepted the gesture. She let him be her hero in that small moment, and it made them both feel good. And that's really the key takeaway here, right? This isn't just about big, grand gestures. It's about noticing and appreciating the small, everyday things. According to this theory, a simple thank you for something routine can actually go a long, long way in making him feel seen and valued. In fact, James Bauer gets so specific that he actually offers a formula for this. He calls it the 12-word text. It's designed to be really direct and hit all the right notes: love, need, and appreciation. It's a quick, powerful way to signal just how important he is to you. Okay, that brings us to our third and final principle, and it's all about communication. Specifically, how you ask for what you want in a way that inspires him to act, instead of making him feel like he's being criticized. The big piece of advice here is to focus on the what, not the how. So instead of giving him a detailed step-by-step to-do list for cleaning the kitchen, you might say something like, "It would make me so happy if the kitchen was sparkling clean for when our guests arrive." It gives him the freedom to solve the problem his own way, which is a huge part of feeling competent. So it all boils down to being clear, but also positive and enthusiastic. Share your excitement with him when he does something that makes you happy. And even small things, like putting your phone down and giving him your undivided attention when he talks, sends a huge message of respect. Now, this is a really important distinction that our sources are careful to make. Triggering the hero instinct is not about being needy or dependent. It's about being independent. Think about the difference between "I can't survive without you" and "Your help with this makes me feel so supported." One signals helplessness, the other signals partnership and appreciation. So, let's put all these pieces together. Why is this approach supposed to work? What's the ultimate goal? It's all about creating one very specific, very powerful emotion. The feeling that he is truly irreplaceable to you.
You can think of it like a chain reaction. First, you take an action that triggers the instinct. That leads to him feeling needed and valued, irreplaceable. This feeling, in turn, is said to boost his confidence and deepen his connection to you. And the final claimed result, a stronger and more deeply committed relationship.
And that really gets to the heart of what's being presented here. It's all about small, consistent actions. It's not about changing who you are, but maybe just shifting how you invite your partner to participate in your life. So we'll leave you with this question to think about. What's one small way you could let your hero shine today?